I no longer think, hey, this is a bad idea. I think, this is financially responsible. I owe it to my family to buy this car, restore it, and sell it for a profit. This will put my kids through college. The P38 that started my sort of amateur YouTube career is a really fun story. So much like my Bentley, I had the same hypothesis that no reserve auctions would be really fun and that there could be deals to be had. And specifically if it ends on a weekend, again, hoping that maybe people aren't paying as close of attention, that they're busy. I showed this car to my wife like 2 days before. I'm like, hey, this one's yellow. It's a Borrego edition. Seems really cool. She didn't know what any of that meant, but she's like, I do like yellow, which I took to mean you have my permission, proceed accordingly. We go to Legoland to take the kids. I had at that time a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. They're running around. We're playing hide and seek. What my family didn't know is that when I was hiding, I was placing minimum increment bids. And I kept being like, they're like, oh, you can be the seeker now. And I'm like, no, I need to keep hiding. I'm going to go over there. And I kept running away, placing bids. And we get back from Legoland and my wife goes, you seem really distracted at Legoland. Like, was work blowing up? Is everything okay? And I'm like, no, everything's fine, but I do have something I need to talk to you about. We just won a 2002 Land Rover Range Rover Borrego edition. So I was pretty excited. I was thinking that it was worth 13 to 15. The comp suggested that in good condition, it was worth 18 to 20. I won it for $7,100. So it seemed too good to be true. I contacted the seller and I was like, hey, I'm so excited. Like, let me know where I can wire the money, what the next steps are on your end, like show me the title, the usual stuff. And he doesn't respond. Another day goes by, he doesn't respond. I go, oh, okay. It was no reserve, but he's just gonna ghost me and not sell me the car. That's fine. It was too good to be true, I'll move on. Then, sure enough, Sunday he finally texts me like late in the night, and he's on the East Coast, and says, hey, sorry, I've been on Cape Cod doing whatever you do on Cape Cod, but let's talk Monday. And I was like, okay, still seems weird. Like, why would we have to talk Monday? Like, why can't you just text me? But sure, let's talk Monday. So Monday I came ready and I sort of thought maybe I should record this or like, what's gonna happen here? But I'm expecting him to ask me for more money or give me some kind of a hard time. But super nice guy, super excited for me, says, let's arrange it, starts acting very normal after a 3-day delay. And I think, okay, I'm actually buying this car. I line up the shipping, I pay him the money, all that goes fine. After the shipper picks up the car, an hour later, he goes, hey, just wanted to let you know it's pouring white smoke out of the exhaust. And anyone who knows this era of Range Rover, the P38, they are known for head gaskets. It's almost like a scheduled maintenance. Every 20,000 miles, you probably need to do your head gaskets. It's a big job, expect it to be $3,000, maybe $5,000. So that, okay, I know exactly what that is, white smoke, I don't even need to diagnose it. And he goes, I'll knock $1,100 off. So now it's a $6,000 Range Rover. And I said, you know what, fine, $6,000, I'll put a head gasket on it. And then I'll know the head gasket's been done, it's been done right, and I probably won't have much more to worry about. It arrives a couple days later. I started up, no white smoke. I thought, oh, that's weird. And it came from Cape Cod in the winter where maybe that was just like condensation or it hadn't ran in a while. Ran it another time, no white smoke, starting to feel pretty good. I got a block tester and waited for it to come out into Amazon. It ships 2 days. I go to start it up and use the block tester and the car won't start. And I thought, okay, all right. Now we're seeing what the P38 ownership life is like. Kept trying and trying for probably half a day. I replaced the battery. I did jump starters. I ran it off my Cayenne. Tried everything you could. I mean, just nothing. Not even like the radio won't turn on, the headlights. It was truly odd. When I replaced the battery, I then charged it. It started to come back again, but like something was up. That didn't come out till later, but was another electrical gremlin that's just was intermittent, but increased in severity. We get it running, we get it to the mechanic, and thankfully the head gasket isn't there. So at this point, I have a $6,000 Range Rover with a free $1,100 using my car guy math, and think I just struck the lottery. This all was ensuing, and my good friend Doug DeMiro calls me up. We've known each other for a long time, and he said, Nick, this is a pretty stupid idea. Would you be down to film it? And I said, yeah, why not? I see all you guys do YouTube. How hard could it be? And so I go out and buy a nice camera, all that. And they go, no, just use your iPhone. Just shoot it. Like, we just kind of want to see what you're going through. Like, I think you're just crazy enough that this could be funny for YouTube. So we record all this, including going to the mechanic. this is really my first project car, and it made its own series. Like I didn't ever have to try. I never scripted a single thing. I never was like, oh, I don't know how to come up with an episode. It would just break and break and break and break some more. On VINwiki, in an earlier episode, you had someone also with a yellow P38 that I believe he bought from an NFL ownership provenance. And he went into painstaking detail about how awful that car was. And he was so right. This car is a handful. But if you work on it yourself, it's actually not, a lot of things are doable. There's a lot of junked ones. You can find the parts. There's enough room in that engine bay to get to a lot of things. The secondary air pump was broken. It was a $40 part, 3 bolts holding it on. I literally had it done in 5 minutes. So unlike the Bentley and some of my other cars, it was straightforward to work on. Just this one had a little rust maybe on the underside. So the P38 ended up treating me so well. It's the car my family misses the most. I'd say despite the pain it puts you through, it's worth it. And to this day, I'm still in touch with all my P38 buddies who are sending me auctions, and I'm like, don't tempt me. The new owner of the car, his Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids handle is Big Dog Andy. He took it through a $50,000 restoration, brand new paint, everything, the 9. So it's now the nicest P38 probably in the world, at least of the Borrego editions, of which there's only 100. So it's lived quite the life, going from a ratty, possible head gasket blown, bring a trailer, dump it at auction vibe to a, Concours winning restoration living up in Seattle. It definitely, like the Bentley, the Range Rover, and especially the older ones, do make you feel like $1 million. You sit so high up, almost like you're driving a semi-truck. It doesn't make sense because the cars aren't that tall, but the way that the seat is positioned, you're looking down on everyone. And I mean that both literally and metaphorically. You're like, oh, I see you down there. You don't bother me. You feel really, really strong. And I think because it is an old school truck as well, it rode pretty nice. I'd go over speed bumps and not slow down, and it feels very capable. It reminded me a lot of the Defender 90s, a lot of the vibes there. It's got all this character. It just looks cool. You want to go to the beach in it. So I think for me, and the bright yellow really added to it. That car taught me, buy the spec when you can. The yellow made me happy. Everyone noticed it. That car in gray or green or blue, it's fine. But in yellow, it's wow, that's something. And also I want to talk to that person, because who owns a car like that? They've got to be interesting. They've got to have an appetite to do interesting things. So that part really stood out to me as well. But I think just all of that charm. Everyone loves SUVs. This really gives you a true SUV. Speaking of cool ads, you mentioned the one, Doug showed this to me and I have it in my garage, but there's a picture of a P38 overlooking an oil field. And it says, some Range Rover owners still check their own oil. And it's that's just so perfect. It is owned by the titans of industry, the oil barons of the world, who cares if it needs a head gasket every 10,000 miles? It's a Range Rover. The most important part of the P38 was the happy ending. The car, I obviously bought it cheap. I spent a lot maintaining it. But Big Dog Andy, the guy that did the wonderful restoration, was someone who knew what he wanted and he was willing to bid aggressively. We were in Car Week. The bidding was at $8,000, and I was like, okay, anything in the low teens, I'm happy with. I'm break even. And he came in, I want to say he bid 16, 17 grand, doubled the bid on the first day, which is pretty rare. So we were all like, oh, is this guy legit, or is this a joke? Because he saw the YouTube content and wanted attention. He followed through. There was a couple bids at the end, but it sold for 19, which made me basically a $5,000 profit. So not only did I immensely enjoy this car, there's a no turning back point of what it unlocked my brain, which is you can make bad decisions and profit from them. And so then when an Arnage comes up, or a $12,000 Maserati, I no longer think, hey, this is a bad idea. I think, this is financially responsible. I owe it to my family to buy this car, restore it, and sell it for a profit. This will put my kids through college. It's not going to put my kids through even community college or trade school or even public school, probably. But it has unlocked a really fun hobby for me. So I'm incredibly grateful to the P38 for getting me into YouTubing, but also teaching me that project cars are not only fun, but if you do it right and you buy low, sell high, you can at least break even on the whole endeavor and have a free hobby.
Today I have a very special announcement. Right now, live on Cars and Bids, I am selling 6 of my personal cars, all with no reserve, and the auctions end tomorrow. So please head over to the link in the description below right now to bid on one of them. Bid late, bid often, and I hope to see the adventure of one of these cars continue with you. Thanks obviously to Nick for coming out to tell some stories, record some content with the cars, and now one of you need to go and outbid him on my Diablo SV. But truly because the customer support of the Premier Financial Services team is unmatched. And now that they're backed and wholly owned by First Financial Bank, that gives them even more buying power for their portfolio of the most significant and valuable collector and exotic cars in the world. It's also allowing them to create new and more interesting finance options and programs for their clients and giving them much more buying power, which is what everybody is looking for as they go on the search for their dream car. So check out Premier Financial Services right now at the link in the description below to thank them for their support of VINwiki and know that they'll be the perfect supporter of your journey to own your dream car.